What's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Marvel's Avengers, and today I want to quickly talk a little bit about Miss Marvel, who was recently announced at New York Comic Con. Up until this point, we've of course had the current roster for Marvel's Avengers being Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, and Black Widow. And of course, they have said that there will be more characters. They've said there'll also be more characters added as the game expands, you know, after the kind of launch period. But they have also just revealed that Miss Marvel will be joining the core roster of characters. And a little bit last week, just kind of following New York Comic Con, they dropped a trailer for her. Largely speaking, cinematic. It does have a few little gameplay elements in it, and she actually looks really, really cool. And from the kind of tiny little gameplay snippets we've seen, it was actually really cool to sort of see a very different area to what we've seen up until this point, because a lot of the gameplay they've shown so far has been in that kind of initial sort of intro sequence, the tutorial phase, the thing that I personally played at Gamescom. We have seen a couple of snippets elsewhere from some of the character profiles, but largely speaking, it all takes place in a very similar area. So seeing her now kind of navigating rooftops, running around like another open environment. Keep in mind, Marvel's Avengers is not inherently an open world game, but it does have like open elements, if you see what I mean. There are some stages that are slightly more linear to provide that kind of narrative experience. Meanwhile, there are others that are kind of a lot more open and allow you to do that exploration. And Miss Marvel looks really cool because from everything they've shown so far, she seems like a really kind of authentic representation of the character. She has, you know, her conventional costume from the comics. She has her quirky personality, her quips, her one-liners, all those kind of things you'd expect from her. But from what we know so far, again, they haven't shown too much in the gameplay, but we do know about 3 of her core abilities. Because again, this kind of plays in sort of typical action fashion. You have your regular attacks, but you do also have special moves, and this applies to any of the heroes. You have your special moves, which you can also use, and they kind of work around a cooldown timer. So what we know so far about Miss Marvel is that she has access to 3 core heroics, the first of which is a healing ability that regenerates a large sum of HP, and this works around a pretty long cooldown, so it's obviously not something you'll be using too frequently. On top of that, her second ability is a charged up fist attack that causes her fist to embiggen, and she can of course then use that to smash enemies. It's kind of like one of her signature traits. It actually looks really, really cool in motion, and I think of all the characters they've shown so far, like although I've spoken about how fun like Thor and Hulk are to play, she actually looks like she kind of fits really nicely in this sort of universe. On top of that, she also has a third ability which allows her to enter an ultra embiggen state, which makes her a giant, which empowers her attacks, and of course allows her to effortlessly swat basically any enemies to one side. And of course, when you factor that in with, say, the co-op aspect, co-op is one of those things they haven't spoken too much about right now. They said again at Gamescom that they'll be speaking about co-op stuff probably at the beginning of next year. They've got a couple more things they may be talking about later on this year, but largely speaking, the co-op focused stuff and the kind of progression and sort of how the wider game works, they'll be speaking about towards the beginning of next year. But what I really want to sort of see is how these characters synergize with one another, because I reckon sort of like her in gameplay with like the ability to kind of go massive and have these like huge fists, she could, you know, if you imagine like her running alongside like Hulk in some of those sort of slightly more open exploration missions, I can see some pretty epic gameplay moments going on there. But anyway, that's kind of it. Just a super quick one because I didn't get a chance to speak about this last week because it's been pretty hectic recently, but I did want to touch on it because this is a game that, you know, I know people right now still are not necessarily completely sold on it. Some people are like, you know, they don't really know what it is. Some people aren't too kind of keen on some of the character models. But overall, for what I've played, I think this is definitely one of those games that when you play it, you kind of enjoy it a lot more so. At least that was for me, right? When I first saw this game announced, I was like, it's cool. I'm interested, but I don't know what it is. Then I played it, and I was like, you know what, this is actually a lot of fun to play, and being able to play this co-op is honestly, I think it's going to give me the same kind of vibes that I get when I play Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but just obviously, you know, in a much bigger scale. Anyway, that's it for the time being. I'm looking forward to it, so I'll keep you guys up to date as and when we get more information on Marvel's Avengers, as and when we find out more stuff. I'll be making more videos, so if you are hyped for the game, or you are kind of curious, or maybe you just want to sort of see more as and when stuff gets revealed to work out if it's for you, then stick around, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.